Chapter 2, Reconnaissance. The heat was stifling. Sweat poured down between our shoulder blades and armpits. Our hearts throbbed powerfully in our chests. Ahead, we saw the trail of dried blood disappear into a doorway on the right side of the hallway. The door was solitary, alone, making it appear to me no other doors wanted to be near it. Either that, or the room was much larger than the others we had inspected. A makeshift dungeon? A temporary chamber of horrors for the uninitiated? Or were they just waiting in there for us? Had the girl simply been a type of macabre bait luring us to our own deaths? The sergeant major knelt to the left of the doorway. I took the right side. He tried the doorknob. It turned freely. Gently he pulled it open only a fraction of an inch and peered inside. He indicated, with hand signals, there were children huddled against the far wall of the room. I cannot see inside myself, but I imagine frightened eyes were peering back at him. He signaled 2 men should follow him inside to the right, and 2 should follow me through the door to the left. Private Smith would remain outside the door to guard our rear. The sergeant major pulled open the door and quickly slipped inside along with his 2 men, and I followed them with mine. The room appeared deserted by the enemy, who had left 11 children huddled by the wall. There was no furniture or rugs or windows or other doors. The sergeant major whispered quietly to the children, who do not appear to understand English. Private Smith's heart was beating much faster than normal. He did not like guard duty, especially in a war zone. He had been left outside to protect the rest of our squad by attack from our rear. He heard no noise. None in the hallway he stood in, and none inside the room we just entered. But this did not help him. His nerves were on edge. He knew an attack could occur at any moment. It had happened before, and it could happen now. He toyed with the selector switch on his weapon. Back and forth he flicked it from semi-automatic fire to 3-round burst and back again. Over and over. Indecisive, not knowing which would be the best to utilize if he were suddenly attacked. Click, click, click. On the other side of the hallway, directly in front of where he stood guarding the door, Private Smith heard a peculiar sound. It seemed to be coming from the other side of the wall. Instantly, he turned his weapon towards the soft sound. There was no door there. There was no shelf, no cupboard, no opening of any kind. Just a soft ticking sound coming from the other side of the wall. He stepped closer to it. He listened. It was not a clock, but it did make a ticking sound. Tick, tick. Tick, tick. He stepped closer, the muzzle of his weapon almost touching the wall. Tick, tick. Behind Private Smith, 2 large hidden panels moved on oiled, soundless rollers. The insurgents wore no boots upon their bare feet as they slipped silently from their concealed positions. Private Smith never heard the man who put the chloroform rag upon his mouth, or the 4 other men who held him immobile until the drug rendered him unconscious. Several more insurgents came out from their hiding place and took their positions on both sides of the solitary door. They looked at their leader, who silently nodded his head.